Hi, it's Dan here from Flexxable, and today I'm going to talk to you about why your Facebook lead ads aren't working. Let's dive in. Okay, so up until probably the last 12 months, I haven't been really the biggest fan of lead ads, whether that be on Facebook or TikTok. When I look back over the years of when I've tried it, with the experience that I have now, I now kind of understand why they weren't working for me. Now I know what I know and what I've seen with kind of developments with OpenAI and ChatGPT. And I think, Facebook was probably way ahead of the curve when it came to knowing what was happening and where things were going, right? So now I can see less of a need for landing pages and kind of complex funnels and all that type of stuff. Now what I see is people becoming a lead and then being engaged with some sort of like chatbot. We have one called the Sales Android. There'll be a link to that below in the description, which shows you how that works and what it does, and you can have a play and try and break it or whatever. But I see the kind of qualification and things like that done now inside someone's mobile phone, rather than having to go visit a landing page and put contact details in and things like that. There's obviously still a big place for that when it comes to e-commerce and things like that. But when it comes to lead gen, I can see things shifting. I may be wrong. That's a prediction of the way I see things are going. And I think Facebook has seen that, and they have known to keep users on their platform, right? But the reason why these type of ads weren't working for me in the past, there's a few reasons. And the first one is that I think Facebook had some really old data, right? So when people signed up with old email addresses and old phone numbers, no, maybe not phone numbers because phone numbers have to be updated, but there was some kind of old data there, right? So you would run an ad for an offer and you wouldn't think too much about it. Leads were super cheap, but then you start wondering why you can't get in contact with people, people don't pick up the phone, etc. And you kind of write them off straight away, right? And the second reason that lead ads weren't working properly is because back when I was first testing them out, I didn't spend enough time understanding what the prospect wanted and showing them what to do off the back of that. And that's what I'm kind of going to go into today in a little bit more detail. So, all of these ad platforms, especially TikTok, have got kind of newer, fresher data. So people that are kind of giving their details to TikTok and then they're being used in their lead forms, it's kind of really kind of up to date. And I believe Facebook's updated all of their information as well. So the kind of data side of things is getting better and better, which is great. But one of the big reasons why people don't make Facebook lead ads work is because they don't spend enough time perfecting this funnel and showing people what to do. And I'm going to explain about that now. So the first reason people don't make it work is because they don't spend enough time optimizing the actual lead form funnel by itself. What I mean by that is that there's kind of a first step, a second step where you collect their details. There's a third step where there's the privacy policy and data protection. And then there's the final step. And I'm going to talk about each of those different stages now, right? So, the first thing is when people hit that lead form, okay? You want to have a definite connection between what they clicked on and what they're seeing on that page, right? And there's real estate on that first page of the lead form where you can add images, you can optimize headlines, you can have sub headlines. You can really kind of connect between the click and what people see straight away. And I see lazy people that don't spend any time on this and they just expect the lead form to convert. And what you'll see is you'll start getting a load of clicks, and rather than getting a kind of 60% opt-in rate, which is what we see, people are getting a 20% opt-in rate and they're saying their cost per lead is too high, not to mention all the contact issues and low quality that people experience because they haven't optimized the rest of it, which I'm about to show you now, right? But if you are running lead ads, take time to optimize that first page that they hit like you would any landing page, okay? And that includes creating a really nice graphic, thinking about your headline and sub-headline, and really kind of putting yourself in the shoes of the prospect and seeing what they're doing, okay? It's going to make a big difference, okay? We see 60% plus opt-in rates for the offers that we're doing, and it just works so well. What happens after they go through that is they click a blue button and then they go into the contact page. You ask for their name, email, and phone, and you can ask for other stuff, and there's different ways you can do this, right? But the most basic form is name, email, and phone, okay? If anything that I've learned in lead gen is that you want to be very prescriptive and tell the prospect what they want to do and have to do on every step. Okay, so the critical thing that we do, because a lot of our contact is done via mobile phone, right, is that we want to tell them on this step to put in your correct phone number so we can send you, or you can experience, whatever that is, to make sure that they know that they're going to get what they opted in for, okay? Because a lot of people will click on an ad, go through that first step, hit the contact page, and they'll just go through it blindly and without any thought, right? Because that's what's pre-populated, okay? But if they read that in big and bold above the details, then they're going to give you got a better chance of getting their correct number. And that makes a big difference, okay? Small things like this in lead gen make a huge difference when you're doing volume, okay? The third thing is the terms and conditions page. We don't do much with that actually. We just kind of let the template go. But the fourth thing, the final step, okay, is the most important thing, right? So by this stage, the lead has already been submitted, okay? But the prospect doesn't know this, okay? Well, they kind of do. There's a little gray box on the lead form funnel that does tell them this, but we've got a whole page of real estate here to tell them what to do next, okay? This is their equivalent of a thank you page on a funnel that's off-site, off Facebook, okay? So I've got an example of, I'm just going to read it out here, of what we say on this last step. So we have something like last step, you're not finished, ... You will have been sent the first SMS from our brand. We've got a sales Android offer at the moment, but so we said, you will have been sent the first SMS from our sales Android. Have a play, try and break it. And I've also sent you an email that says thank you, okay? If you reply to this email, you can have a conversation with my Android there too. It also works with WhatsApp and Messenger, blah, blah, blah. I'm here for you, Dan and the Flexxable team. PS, if you want to jump the queue and buy my sales Android or find out what's included, just tap the blue button below, okay? So we're really taking the time to tell the prospect exactly what to do. And then humans are funny, they follow instructions, okay? It's not a good idea to not spend time on this last step and just have a generic text in there. It really, really harms your funnel, okay? And everything that I'm talking about here is a tiny part of your lead gen ecosystem. You have contact rates and email follow-ups and SMSs and all that type of stuff as well. But just this one thing alone and really digging into a tiny part of what you're doing is going to make a huge difference to what you're doing. And that applies to any part of your lead gen business as well. I'm going to throw one other thing in. I've thrown loads of things in, but you want to be able to send the lead instructions after they've hit that blue button or after they've been through, right? So the next thing is like an SMS or an email that they receive. Remember how I said we've sent you an email that says thank you, and we've also sent you an SMS. So they automatically check their email, they automatically check their SMS, and then we ask them in that first SMS or email, we ask them a very simple binary question. You might have heard me talk about this before, but this is designed to get the conversation going. So if it's for our sales Android, then we say, are you a lead gen agency? Text back yes if you are, type thing. And that then gets the conversation going, right? But if it's a roofing lead or like a solar lead, for example, the question could be, do you use gas or electricity to heat your home? Okay, and that's going to really get them a nice binary question that they can answer quickly that's going to get the conversation started with the sales team, okay? Whether you're passing on that lead to the client or working it yourself, or whatever that is, right? Or you can give this advice to your client as well. Get that binary question going in that first email and that first SMS, get the conversation started, right? And you should be aiming for 40 to 50% plus message back rate. Okay, that reply rate we call it, okay? When you optimize the lead form funnel all the way to the end, and then you optimize the binary question, okay, you're gonna get super cheap leads, you're gonna get super cheap conversations happening, and all of a sudden lead form ads start working for you as opposed to everyone else who writes it off. Hopefully you follow. Most people do run lead form ads, so you probably enjoy it, and you can probably implement this very quickly, all right? So if you have enjoyed this video, please give us a thumbs up. Give us a comment if you've got any questions, and also subscribe to our channel if you want to be the first to know when there's new videos like this out. As I said, we are taking what we've learned here and implementing it all into our sales Android, which helps book appointments, book leads, and all that type of stuff for our clients. Okay, so if you follow the lead form criteria and what I've spoken about, you've got the binary question and you've got a sales Android attached to that for either your agency or your client's business, things can really kick off for you. All right, there'll be a link below so you can experience a sales Android yourself. You'll love it. Give it a go. Try and break it. Do whatever you can. I'll speak to you soon.